Drogheda's Muslim monument gets a makeover, and it's decidedly Christian. Well, I think it's time to check back in with our good friends in Drogheda and their new monument slash sculpture slash piece of art slash sop to Islam, and see what's going on there. There has been some latest developments, some new developments, and I know I'm doing a bit of a series on this thing. Hell, I could even make a whole channel out of it, but that's not the point. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about or why it seems to be causing concern and downright angst for the local people, not only in Drogheda but in Ireland, well, it looks a bit like this. Now, to me and to many, many others, the symbolism there was, well, shall we say, a little bit interesting, a little bit too interesting in all the wrong ways, because we have, as you know, an extremely rich, deep heritage and history, many symbols and a lot of symbolism included in that, and many legends, myths, stories, and all kinds of stuff. And what was chosen for the crown, for the top of that monument, as you can see, was that. And many people were a little bit bemused, a little bit shocked, a little bit disappointed, and maybe, well, not maybe, definitely very, very angry at why this blatant foreign symbol of a foreign ideology, religion, doctrine, whatever you want to call it, would be placed on a monument in a prominent place in an Irish town. The town council, of course, and the tidy town people who initially got this ball rolling for the monument, and indeed the artist, they all poo-pooed the idea and said, look, it's purely an Irish thing. Bowen, goddess of the River Boyne, she's the whole impetus for the piece. There's nothing to see here. Of course, many people didn't buy that for just 1 second, because, lo and behold, people are not stupid. There was, of course, a lot of calls for it to be modified, to be changed. Some people wanted the whole thing scrapped and taken down. Such was the level of anger, and it was felt by many, many people. And I know this because I did cover it, and I got a lot of comments saying exactly that. Now, did the council pay any heed? No. The powers that be have absolutely no interest in what the plebs think or what they say. And if you don't realise that's how Ireland is today, then you haven't been paying attention. So some local citizens took it into their own minds to do a little bit of modification themselves, as is their wont. Now, they came up with a plan, which I thought was rather brilliant, of changing the top to look a bit like this. Bravo, bravo, I said at the time, and I still say it. Whoever, the good men and women who did that job of work, you did us all proud. And surely no one in the land could disagree that that new makeover was quintessentially Irish, unlike the original. So anyway, I said this at the time that the lovies, the wokies, the lefties, the commies in modern Ireland's county councils and political class and media class, they would be apoplectic, they would be spilling their tea, they would be getting in a flap, and they would have some council official, some council lad in a van, or possibly 10 lads in a van with 2 step ladders, 3 firemen's ladders, and a hoist, and a load of stop-go road signs to get out there immediately, get that tricolour off the monument. We can't possibly have tricolours all about the place in Ireland. Can you even imagine? And that's the way these people think. So, of course, by the end of that day, the tricolour was removed, as they said, for safety reasons. Yes, because safety is their prime concern. We couldn't possibly have motorists driving along the road and seeing a tricolour atop a monument. Carnage would be bound to ensue. So anyway, on that bluff, they got the thing taken down. But it wasn't finished there, because the Irish are, well, we are not known for giving up that easily. We did, after all, fight for over 700 years to become a free nation from the biggest, greatest, most powerful empire the world had ever seen, and one right on our doorstep. And we achieved the impossible. So never let it be said that we give up at the drop of a hat. We don't. So, of course, the good people of Drogheda and their surrounds didn't give up. And they're back with a new plan. And now the top looks something like this. Yes, not quite the tricolour this time, granted, but I do like the way they blended the blue material with the other parts of the sculpture. Shows a certain flair, and dare I say it, a certain artistry. But the good denizens of Drogheda, or whoever these brave patriots were who once again improved this monument, to my mind, they didn't stop there. Oh no, they were only getting warmed up with that one. Because not only did they obscure certain things on top and certain signifiers of certain ideologies, they went one further than that. They decided to, metaphorically, baptize it into the Christian faith. By doing this... Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You see? I told you this had a long ways to run. It's definitely not over yet. Now, no doubt the council will have their 10 men in a van and a few step ladders and all that sort of gear out tomorrow morning to scrub off everything, remove that blue bit of cloth at the top. Everything will be returned to exactly what people don't want. Because, as I said, the woke lefty commies can never be wrong. Everybody else is wrong except them. They know better than you. They're more righteous and virtuous than you. So they are going to plough on using your taxpayers' money to keep this monstrosity alive and well. But I have a feeling in my bones that the good people of Drogheda, indeed Ireland, will not let this lie. But let's see what the ordinary people on the Twitter sphere think about this whole shenanigans. Lily Pops says, it's an obvious Muslim symbol on top of it. There is nothing Irish about it. Absolutely. And many, many people, including myself, think exactly the same, and have done since we first saw it. Sean O'Rian says, great news. There should be a Celtic cross put there altogether instead, and that hideous sculpture knocked. Well, yes, indeed, Sean, there are certainly many people who feel the same way as you do. Fergal Lawler writes, it's a symbol of intent, the intention to degrade our history, culture, and heritage, as well as our future. It is our duty to protect these aspects of Irish life so they can be passed to our descendants. Very well said and very well put. My sentiments exactly, Fergal. Frank Simerson O'Riordan opines, be great if a truck hit it. God, do your best. Yes, a slight bit full on there, a bit full force there, Frank, but there are a lot of people who have opined very similar thoughts. And lastly, Fire Opal Queretero says, who is responsible for the installation of this structure in the Boyne Valley of all places, sacred to Indigenous Irish people since time immemorial? Absolutely correct. I'm not sure if that's your real name, but if it is, it's colourful. Yes, it's certainly the Boyne, Battle of the Boyne Valley, a very, very rich cultural place, a lot of history tied up there, not to mention a lot of myths and legends, of course, the goddess of the Boyne and all of that. So why they would choose to do this, well, I know why. I think I know why, because they really do want to undermine us. They really do want to make it plain to all of us that our time is over now. That time when we were just Irish and fully Irish, 100% Irish, and had immersed ourselves in the richness of our culture, that day is gone. No, the world has come a-calling, and all of that Irishness has to be packed away, if not thrown on a bonfire and burnt to a crisp. Well, I say no. I say I will not partake in that, and I will push back as much as I possibly can against that tide of absolute nonsense. And to those who say, oh no, it's just harmless bit of sculpture, and it does indeed celebrate Irish and the Irishness, Irish heritage, myths, legends, all, I say, look, stop it. Stop it with that nonsense. Nobody believes that. Because just the other day in Wexford, another monument, another sculpture was unveiled that absolutely embodies Irishness. And here's a picture of it here. You see, it's not that difficult to put a sense of Irishness into a monument or a sculpture. My problem with the people running Ireland now is they want to do the exact opposite.